Just kidding, sorry. Anyways, I am doing the recording finally for everybody that wanted to learn how to bead with me, but you know, we all live in different cities, or just obviously life is busy, so here we are. And each of the kits are going to be the included items. Aside from this stuff, you'll need little scissors or whatever, regular scissors for your threads and cutting out your design, but otherwise everything else is here that you should need. Oh shoot, maybe not glue. Whatever, anyways. So there are gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 needles included with your kits. Each of the needles are wrapped with some standard beading thread. You know, I was taught that you don't need to overextend how much thread you use. Like, just do comfort, even if you have to rethread a lot. Like, you're going to be rethreading anyway, so just do an arm's length. Don't overextend yourself where you're going so far out that you need to like work yourself more. But anyways, so yeah, the thread, the needles, the pieces of leather just to hold everything. You're gonna get 2 pins. You can sew these into the beadwork themselves, and then we'll cut it out and everything. And then these are also the latch kind, so they're kind of nice for, I don't know, keeping closed, I guess. Also gonna get some cardboard. I drew a little sketch on this one, just a quick and rough sketch of what I wanted my design to look like. It's literally just an old cereal box. This will be glued to the back of our projects, and it will help keep the project firm. This isn't a necessary step, but it does kind of help things, I find. You'll also get 2 pieces of Pellin. I just traced my drawing here over this one. Pellin is just a felt, a stiff felt. That's hilarious, a felt. And it's just nicer to bead on. It helps keep its stiffness without, you know, bending the beadwork a bunch and moving. As you'll see with this felt, it is very thin and flimsy, and as soon as you pull any thread through this, it's gonna pull with it. It's not gonna have any solidness to it. You'll also get a bunch of beads. Pretty much all of the beads included should be enough to complete 2 watermelon slice projects. If you want to, you don't necessarily have to do the watermelons. These are up to you to do with what you will. Again, you can donate them, sell them if you'd like, to raise some awareness, whatever you want to do. But yeah, so this is pretty much what's included. I'm realizing I don't know how I would be able to give individually little things of glue, so I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to find some glue for the end of that part. But it's not, you don't have to use anything crazy, just even like Elmer's glue is fine. It might take a little longer, but I use, I think it's called E6000 or something like that. I don't have any right now. Just any glue to stick it to the back there. I had already gotten started, and then we needed to re-record. So yeah, all you're gonna do is tie a knot at the end of your thread. You're not gonna cross over or anything. You're not gonna double up like this and then tie a knot. We're just gonna use the single piece of the thread, and we're gonna tie a knot. You can see I didn't tie very much of a knot there. That is enough to keep it from pulling through the Pellin, but I'll just show you again quickly. 1 little tiny knot, we're all good to go. I think that was like 4 knots on that thread. So then once you get started, you're gonna, oh sorry, I'll show this side of the thread. When I thread my needle, I like to just put, obviously we're not doing the doubling over, so we're just doing it up here. To leave a little bit of a tail here, just so that when I'm pulling through, it doesn't fall out or anything like that. Once you get used to, you know, the feel of beading, you'll start picking up little techniques. Like when I'm beading, I like my pinky will automatically grab things like this. Again, that's just things you learn as you go. Then yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. So you have your needle and thread, and it's already threaded through, we're ready to go. You're just gonna go onto your Pellin, and again, I traced my design over top of this. So I'm just gonna use that as a guide. So I just go in and I start poking around a little bit and just try find where I'm entering. I already, again, came through. You can see here, it's pulling through. And we're just gonna get started with one single bead. This is a very simple design, and I think it's kind of like a perfect opportunity for people to learn to bead with. So yeah, anyways, what you're gonna do is you're gonna just go to the other side of where the bead's gonna sit. So if you just place the bead down and look at it, you'll see where it's gonna sit. And you don't want it to be right up against the bead. You wanna leave a little bit of space for tension and for, you know, just a little bit of, I don't know what the term is, but a little bit of slack, I guess you could say. So I'm just gonna go right onto that side and not too tight, and we're just gonna let it sit just like that. And we're not gonna pull it super tight, because if we hold it down tight like this, you'll see that the bead turns sideways and you can see the thread on one side. So you just let it sit as it is, and you just let it lightly be, and then you're gonna go back up on the initial side you came out of. So not the one side, but the back on this side of the bead. So I'm gonna go back in there, pull up, pull my thread through. I'm gonna go right through the bead, the eye of the bead, and we're gonna pull through there. And this is just securing our bead down. And we're gonna go back down on the side, on the other side of the bead, this side, and that's just pinning down. So that is one bead pinned down, and we're done with that one. So we're gonna go to the next row. That's gonna be 2 beads. So we're gonna come out one side. See, we're lining up here. We're gonna come out. We're gonna pick up. So now quickly, you're just gonna wanna consider when you're gonna wanna start putting seeds down. So I'll probably start at the next row. I'll do 3 total beads on the top, and then once we get to the next row, I'll go red, black, red. So we'll just do 2 reds and continue. So yeah, I like to lay my beads down just like that, let the thread sit. And again, you don't want it too tight, because if we go too tight, our beads are gonna start sitting wonky. So we just let it sit nice and loosely. We wanna leave just a tiny bit of space on the one side for the bead and another bit of space on this side. So like a millimeter to half a millimeter, and that's a very tiny bit of space. And we'll just leave it there. And you can see that it's sitting nicely. I'm not pulling on it too tight. And we're just gonna poke through, find our way. We're gonna come up between the 2 beads, and we're gonna pull through, and we're gonna pin it down. And we're gonna cross over the middle thread between the 2 beads and pull that through. And that's gonna give us our pin down for that spot. Ta-da! Now, if you really wanted to, and just to make sure that that doesn't pull or go anywhere else, you can always do the same thing I did with the last time and go through the eye of the beads and lay it down again. That'll be like laying it flat, kind of. And it really keeps that shape. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going with that. I'm gonna do the next set of beads, which is going to be red, black, red. I'll pin those down in the same way I did. I'm going to go in between the 2, or it'll be 3 beads, so I'll go between the first 2 and I'll pin it down on the thread, so it'll go horizontally and then vertically. So we'll lay down horizontally, I'll pin down vertically on the 2 spots, and then we'll go.